Your job can't save you. Growing up, we were sold this dream. You go to school, you go to college, you get a degree, and you get a job, and then you'll have stability. But stability is no longer a thing. With massive layoffs causing hundreds of thousands of people back into the job market, the dream that we once knew of just having a degree and being able to find a job that will provide you with stability is no longer in existence. Given inflation and everything going on with the economy, it's so important for you to be able to create your own stability outside of just your 9-to-5 job. This is why it's so important for you to be able to build something outside of your 9-to-5. Which this could be anything. This could be doing content or doing hair or doing makeup. Just something that you can have as a safety net outside of your job in case something happens. A lot of people wait until they feel quote unquote ready to start that business or start doing content or start doing something to build outside of just their 9-to-5 job. This is the biggest trap that you can fall into, because every day that you say, I'll start tomorrow, I'll start tomorrow, I'll start tomorrow, is another day of missed productivity and another day of missed growth. In those 5 months that you decided to wait until you quote unquote felt ready enough to start, you could have been doing so many other things to help better yourself and help start your business or whatever it is that you plan on starting. For example, you could have started an email list where you sent out a freebie to potential clients and customers, gearing up for when you are ready to start that business. You could have also taken a class in whatever the new pivot is that you're trying to get into, whether that's taking a hair class or taking a makeup class. You also could have been picking up a camera if you decided that you wanted to do content as your extra safety net outside of just your 9-to-5 job. But all of those things you could have already started before you quote unquote felt ready. Because as we know, time compounds, and even wasted time, that compounds as well. And before you know it, one day can turn into 1 week, can turn into 1 month, can turn into 1 year, can turn into multiple years that you said that you were gonna wait until you felt ready. And you know the worst feeling is? The feeling of regret. The regret knowing that if you would have just taken the steps little by little, day by day, you could have already been building something. Because the worst thing is having regret about time wasted that you will never be able to get back. The root of this trap isn't laziness, it's actually perfectionism disguised as preparation. We wait and we wait and we wait until the stars align or the planets align. We wait until we have a better schedule or we have a more expensive camera or we have more money. Think about some of the people that you admire online or in business. Do you think that they started with a flawless product or a huge studio and zero fear? Absolutely not. Their first client was probably underpriced, or their first video was probably awkward. But the market doesn't reward ideas that stay in your head. It rewards execution and adaptation, which in order to do that, you have to actually take the steps to start. When you rely solely on your 9-to-5, you're participating in a dangerous game called single income dependency. And if layoffs happen or budget cuts or restructuring of the company happens, your stable reality vanishes. In today's society, building something outside of your 9-to-5 isn't a fun little project or a cute little side hustle. It's modern day risk management. Think of it as building a raft when you know a storm is about to come, but before it actually hits. You're giving yourself an emergency jacket. You're giving yourself a life vest. Because when you don't and you only depend on one source of income, and you only depend on your 9 to 5 to fund your lifestyle and to pay your bills, that employer controls your entire financial ecosystem and therefore controls your entire well-being. And that is not a fun place to be in. Imagine if you just took 1 hour, not even 10 hours, of your day before or after work to build something for yourself. Ownership, something that you completely control. On your first day or your first week, you could be mapping out what that next business venture is going to be. Is it going to be content? Is it going to be hair? Is it going to be digital products? Whatever the case may be, in that 1 week, you could have already figured out what it is that you're going to be doing. By your first month, you could have had content already done and put out there. You could have had a business plan. You could have had digital products up and running. And by month 3, now you're adjusting to the market. You're seeing what your audience likes. You see what your clients like. You see what services they prefer. And by month 6, now you have actual data. Data that has trended from the first month all the way up to the 6 months. You can see where your strong suits are and you can see where your weaknesses lie, and you can see what your audience or what your clients respond to the most and what actually earns you the most income, and double down on what works. But guess what? If 6 months ago you would have never started, if you would have never mapped out what you wanted to do, if you would have never took the steps necessary to start thinking about what your business was going to be, you wouldn't even have any data to be able to double down on to know how to increase your profit or increase your revenue. Now think about the person who waited those 6 months, who kept researching, kept planning, kept waiting until they felt ready in order to execute it. They're in the same exact spot they were 6 months ago. Except maybe they're more tired, maybe they feel more bitter, and maybe they feel regret over the fact that they never took those steps to actually get started and build something of their own. The market doesn't respond to intention. It responds to output and it responds to action. Every time you post a single piece of content, or you gain a new client, or you build a new skill in a service that you want to provide under your own business, it's something that no one can take from you. It's something that a corporate layoff can't stop, because it's something that you built all on your own. Stop waiting for permission and stop waiting for confidence to magically appear before you take action. You don't get confidence by waiting to start. You get confidence by actually taking action and surviving the first attempt and realizing it didn't break you. If you're ready to start treating yourself like an investment instead of an afterthought, make sure you subscribe for more.